What's up, everybody? Welcome to Putting Our Power. This is Gabby.
And Katie.
We're back with another episode. As you can see, Katie is back. Applause, applause, applause. You can hit us up at Putting Our PWR on all social medias. If Twitter, it will still be here. We will be there, maybe. But yes, if anything, just hit up the YouTube comments and we'll get to y'all from there. But appreciate everybody for the love and support, just for checking in with us last week. Today, we're just going to go back to our roots and do a ranting episode. Because, you know, a lot of stuff has been going on. A lot of stuff. And people are scared and people are hyperbolizing everything and getting folks riled up. So, as everybody should know by now, Supreme Court passed two big things. One thing they did was overturn affirmative action. Another thing they did was pretty much rule and judge and say that businesses are allowed to discriminate, pretty much say refuse business to LGBTQ plus individuals if it doesn't align with their personal views. Mm-hmm. And of course, everybody's already saying they got their tickets, they're ready to go, and they're going to a better land somewhere off in Canada. As you know, guys, we already said it. We already said what? Joe Biden ain't doing nothing. So, what is going to be the best marketing tool for the Democratic Party? Just letting shit go to shit and be even worse and say, oh no, how did this happen? And now you got everybody saying, oh, you better go to those polls and vote. You better go to those polls and vote. Trump, you see what happens? Bernie Sanders. Somehow this is Bernie Sanders' fault. Firstly, somehow this is Trump's fault.
And the fact that Hillary didn't get elected in 2016, that's a problem too.
This is Trump's fault. This is Bernie Sanders' fault. And literally, American history started in 2016. That's when America literally began. Because as far as I'm concerned, and as far as these folks on Twitter concerned, there is nothing that's happened in the past 200-300 some years that would even make us think that something so despicable could ever happen in Americans' history. And because of that, go vote. Because of that, go vote.
And people, and I don't know if you saw this, but a lot of people were on there, they're saying things like, this is the consequences of the 2016 election. Or it's like America's playbook, and they always do this, and this is a repeat pattern, and we didn't really make any progress if it can be reversed in 2 steps. You know, like, it's a mess.
We have to say this every time, but we know critical thinking is not pushed in America because you can't get people to the polls if people are critically thinking. I want people to think. If affirmative action was something that was put into place, right? Mm-hmm. Right. So that means at first it wasn't there. So at first, whatever it was before the bill, it was some discrimination going on apparently. And then the bill get passed to quote unquote combat that discrimination, right? So if we're repealing said bill, we're just going back to how things were. People are acting like America began and it was an equal playing field for everybody. It wasn't fascist. Everybody had rights. There was no racism, no sexism. None. It was utopia. It was Cuba, but 1,000 times better. And now all of a sudden the devil is coming in and corrupting everybody. And everybody is slowly and surely falling back and forgetting and turning its back on America. What?
Yep. It's a very, I don't want to use like reactionary, but that's kind of what it is. Like, it is a fear tactic, and like you said, Joe Biden ran on something, but he has done absolutely nothing.
Not one thing.
So now they're using fear to put it back into people's mind that you must go out and vote. That's at least one of our theories, that we believe the reason why they're doing all of these things is so that people are forced to go out and vote, because no one gives a shit about American politics right now. We understand how shit it is. A lot of people are no longer going to be voting because they understand that their vote doesn't technically count if it's just going to continue doing this over and over and over. And so I think, yeah, that's just one of our theories, but we have other theories as well.
We have other theories. Another minor theory of mine is that this was all done to overplay the fact that we ain't gonna get them student loans passed.
Yes,
and that's
correct.
over with.
Yeah.
So have fun with that. Nobody's saying anything because now we scared about the affirmative action and stuff. Ultimately, this is my number one theory. Okay, so we know not even post America claiming that it's a pandemic. The deaths, we had all those deaths.
Yeah.
A lot of people were not getting married. A lot of people are not having children. The millennials, less and less people are having children. We're having plant babies and pets and just saying, I don't even know if I want to bring a child into this dumb or the crazy ass world. So, I feel like since we know that affirmative action predominantly benefits white women, this is another thing that they can do to force the hand of the nuclear family to come back together and go and produce them babies.
White women won't be focusing on their careers.
If less white women are going to college, see, that's wasting time.
Mm-hmm.
17, 21, 22, that's your prime time to hurry up and get locked up in a marriage and start producing them children early.
Right.
So, that is one of the ways in which they gonna get these women to be dependent on men financially, because they're not gonna be able to get as many degrees that are high paying jobs. And financially, there is, when women ain't doing that well economically, there is a tendency for them to, be stuck with a man and not trying to leave so quickly, because if the man has financial security and he has a place to stay and she does not, she's willing to be put up with stuff, and it's a whole thing. So I feel like that's a part of it. Roe v. Wade was overturned, so now you're gonna be forced to have them babies.
Definitely LGBT. Yeah.
Yes,
They're definitely doing that.
And all that other stuff. I feel like that's the way that it's gotta be, because KT was reading something in her little book for school. KT's going back to school, everybody.
Wish me luck.
Talking about unemployment.
Oh yeah.
And how low unemployment is actually bad for the economy, because if unemployment is low, right, that means that there's less people trying to apply for these jobs. And in order to get people to go and file for these jobs, they have to increase the wages, make competition.
And benefits and things like that. So they're
if the wages and stuff are high, then all of a sudden, somehow, the corporations, of course, they have to raise the prices of goods. Mm-hmm. And thus inflation.
Correct.
So unemployment being low is bad. But unemployment being high, the corporations can pay whatever they want. And they can set the prices for goods to whatever they want. So with the population where a lot of the workforce is dead, a lot of the workforce is disabled, they need a surplus in labor, unemployed people, so that there is no competition when it comes to jobs. Like right now,
yeah, I can speak to that. I've been applying to jobs, at least 5 jobs a day, for a good month or so. Within those 5 jobs a day, I've probably applied to over 100 at this point. And I've had 1 interview. If you go on LinkedIn and you look at what people are talking about right now, it is not an employee's job market. It is an employer's job market, meaning that things that I was seeing at the beginning of my job search that was paying $17 to $22 an hour, they've now put it back down to $13 to $15 an hour. And people are saying on average now it's taking people anywhere from 3 to 6 months to actually get a job. Yeah, so
yeah. So that is really what it's about. Like, people will say, it's blah, 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 but ultimately, yes, these things are two and threefold. Ultimately, the goal is economics, but also at that same time, we can fuel the divide, keep that fascism going, keep it burning hot, so that people can't even see this part.
Nope.
They too busy fighting over the blacks is in the college, the women is in the college, I deserve to be in the college. Y'all are such cucks. Y'all can't even think. Y'all just, I need to get my money. I need to get my money. There's a thousand things going on around you. And you talking about going into a damn university. Priorities, people. Anyways, I feel like that's one of the reasons that the affirmative action thing got overturned. For one, like I said, need those more babies, need more babies to flood the market with unemployment, and also we know some of those kids will be going to the military as well, and also just to keep that divide, which helps America, keep on oppressing.
Also, if we talk about, like, if we even go back and we look at the Supreme Court ruling on affirmative action, Gabby and I was going through this. It seems like about once every decade they roll something back or they keep something. There's always something that happens for some reason around election time that seems to pull at the strings at affirmative action. So we talked about this before. I've talked about this on Twitter before, but just know that right now, the United States government, like, we know that it's a capitalist government, right? So we know that it is doing marketing and looking at the people, and they're saying, okay, what are people going to be upset about? What are people going to want us to run on? What's going to get people out there to vote and continue this capitalist machine? So if you're seeing people out here doing reactionary posts about Roe is gone, we have no LGBT rights, what are we going to do? We're in fascism now. That's propaganda, getting you and your brain ready to go and support capitalism at any means necessary.
Yes, doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results.
Correct.
Also, back to that thing about affirmative action, I forgot to add that, of course, it does still affect black people and brown people.
Course.
And you know that black people are already the surplus unemployed labor anyway. Last to get hired, first to get fired. So, we can't have y'all, especially black women, we can't have y'all getting all these damn degrees. You will be back in that little pool of people so that these corporations can eventually get this thing all the way down back to $7 an hour. So it's all a part of the plan. Okay, now to the LGBT thing. Now this is the thing that just, I didn't understand this one from my point of view as a anarchist.
Oh yeah. Oh, this one's great.
But I see, I know why certain queers was upset. So pretty much the story behind this thing, they said it's not even a real thing. Like the business owner made up the whole thing anyway. But pretty much what they said, like I said, the Supreme Court said businesses are able to withhold providing you a service if they say you being gay is against their whatever
religion.
So again, from an anarchist point of view, I don't care.
Why do you want to, my thing is, my first question was, why do you want to shop with them anyway?
Exactly.
If they say you're not welcomed here, why would you want to be there? That doesn't make sense.
Exactly. And like I said, I don't even know if this is real, but I know it upset many people. And it goes back to that whole assimilation thing.
Yeah.
It goes back to what Malcolm X was talking about when black people were over there petitioning for these white ass racist ass businesses to make them get their money. He's like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
Why are you giving money to communities for them to build up their communities and shit like that when it's based off not only the oppression of the exploitation of your labor, but also these dollars that you're giving to them for these half-ass products, moldy food, and terrible service? Like, priorities. And because gay is in and it's assimilated, this is really hitting some of the people hard, because they figured with their money they can pretty much kind of step over any type of oppression now because they can just buy their way through it.
Well, I mean, if you're white and you're queer, and you have money, what else? What else? But here's something that you mentioned, and something that a lot of us need to remember. It wasn't 10 years ago that queer people could not get married.
Mm-hmm.
There's still states queer people have restrictions on being married. Like that, like, you guys have to remember where we came from.
And we talked about this last year.
We're just going back to where we were.
We talked about this last year about the damn exhibit in Memphis where they made it seem like after gay marriage everything was good.
That's not how it happened, and that's not realism. That's not realistic if we're even looking at it now. At any moment, at any singular moment, anybody's rights can be removed because guess what? We are at the will of the United States government.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So y'all over here playing nuclear family, get married, have the 2 kids, a dog, and a white picket fence. It's all good and well with your money
until the government say y'all ain't making children fast enough, and then
now it's a problem.
Yeah, no, y'all supposed to be a baby factory. We thought y'all was gonna be able to adopt all these kids, and we thought y'all was gonna do all this. Y'all ain't doing it. Nope. And yeah, it's just. I don't even know how to get people to see it because, I don't know.
It almost feels like a conspiracy theory, but when you have read the history and you have seen like time after time and you research and you look at the cases that are coming up time after time after time and the times that they come up, like the amount of time that it's there, like it's unreal how repetitive it is and how reactionary it is every single fucking time.
Yep, that's true. And, of course, some people know it, and we're thankful for those people that's calling it out. But like we said, some people are they really finna ride this thing until the wheels fall off. They cannot wait to get into them election campaigns. And a lot of folks is screaming and hollering and stuff like that. We found out they actually work on election campaigns. So they actually need you to get hyped up. And people were, I think there was a tweet or something like that where somebody was calling all this shit out, and somebody said, what is the solution? And they said, organize. And somebody quote retweeted and was like, this is just unreal, la 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 la. All y'all gonna do is organize people to take them outside to press a button, and then apparently America will be changed. Think about how ridiculous this is. In order to make sure that you are not fully oppressed, your rights aren't taken away, you must put your trust in somebody who they're not gonna do what they say. And then you must trust them to vote in ways that will prioritize you versus the corporations that's giving them millions of dollars to campaign.
And the corporations who lobby, yeah.
You expect your little vote in bumfuck Egypt at that community center, pressing that button, your whole community combined.
Inside the high school gymnasium.
Inside the high school gymnasium with no air conditioning, got the big old fan running. You have as much say as one, not even a billionaire, a small business owner profiting $2 million a year. You have as much as that man. You do not. You don't. You know how many... there's not even enough people to equate the amount of power that all these people with these millions of dollars have. And that's something else we was talking about. Like, what were we saying? It was something along those lines, like a rich person. Oh, like them old people back in the day. They always go to the city council meetings. They always got something to say. Every week they there, and they just really advocating for the community. They care so much about the community.
The kids, the
city council. As soon as that lady come out, they take out their phones and they use it as a time to check their emails. By the time that lady is gone, they already thinking about what they gonna eat for lunch. That's the equivalent of us. You have no power in a capitalistic society. Zero. And this is supposed to be the society of free will and freedom and shit like that. And there's something else that KT was talking about, they had in her book. They were talking about a market controlled economy and like a free market economy.
Yeah, that's what it's called. It's called market control.
Think about this.
Market economy.
America is supposed to be free market, right? America is free market because the people who own businesses, they can decide how they want to set prices, and they can decide when they want to do this, supply and demand. Mm-hmm. But how many of us are in that decision making process?
Well, that's not the point. Well, actually, you know what? The book said that our part of the decision making process is being able to choose what products we want. So if, as an example, let's say that you go to the farmer's market and somebody's selling apples for $1.50 and somebody else is selling it for $1. Well, you know, if the dollar and the $1.50 have the same quality, then you're going to pick the cheaper one, obviously, right? But if it's one where the $1.50 has higher quality and the dollar has lower, you're more than likely going to choose the $1.50. Anyway, that's the choices that we have. We have individual choices that
you
are
have
free.
The choice, but it's not. Look,
that's what they say.
You have the choice to spend money that
where you want,
paid for with your own labor, time, sweat, and tears. That's your choice. Now, your choice has nothing to do, again, about the about improving the world, about making sure your community and everybody is good, making sure your health and stuff is good. No. Your choice and the way you're able to contribute to the economy is you working at a job for 8 hours, getting that check and giving it to another rich person, and you are part of the free market economy.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And it's not called a free market economy. It's literally just called market economy.
Or market, whatever.
They don't even have free to it. They just tell you have freedom of choice. And I feel like that, this is a whole other thing. We're going down a rabbit hole, but I feel like that so deeply aligns with evangelical Christianity. Like, God gave you freedom. God gave you the choice of whatever you want to do.
But there's really no choice.
Free will, blah, 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 blah. Like, we've heard that as people who live in the South, within the Bible Belt, we've heard that so much probably throughout our entire lives. And then it just echoes back with that capitalism that, hey, we have the free choice. We live in an economy where we have the choice to choose where we want to live, choose where we want to buy, choose when we want to do this. They focus so much on the individuality whenever the quality of everyone's lives are shit.
And it's not free will. It's fake.
And it's not
it's
free.
Fake free
None
will.
of it is free will.
It's fake free will. Just like you can pick between heaven or hell. You ain't no other choice, so you got free will. You can pick between this neighborhood and that one. You cannot go over there.
But can you? If you don't have the
what
funds?
I'm saying is you can pick between bad neighborhood number 1 or bad neighborhood number 2. You cannot pick good neighborhood over here. You can pick to work at a factory, or you can pick to work in environmental services. That's it. And that's free will. Because would you rather be in a communist economy where your whole life is planned in front of you and they decide where you're going to work for the rest of your life and they decide where you're going to live? That's where we're already at. Well, and at least them folks have basic food. They all got food. They all get health care. They all got a place to live. We over here folks can't even afford food in their fridge. No. And y'all doing worse.
We now have services where you can, it's basically like a credit card just for groceries. I don't know if y'all seen that ad on TikTok, but they market it that's pretty much what it is. It's a credit card that you just buy groceries with. Yep. And then you pay it off. No one should have to fucking do that. Food should be free.
Yeah.
Housing free. Healthcare free. All of that should be quote unquote free. But we apparently have free will. But I do want to say, I want to kind of go back a little bit because we kind of skipped over this. But there's a tweet, okay? I'm going to read the first part, and before I read the second part, I want y'all to just guess what this person is talking about, okay? So here we go. I am so damn disgusted. I can't even speak, bro. I'm about to cancel all my meetings. I can't do no comms work today. I don't want to market no damn vehicles. Okay, so now you know what they was talking about? They was talking about three Supreme Court justices. They could have swung the court on any topic. We would have nationalized Walmart or some stupid shit.
What?
Hillary Clinton would have gotten 3 Supreme Court justices, man.
What? Here's my thing. Materially, let's talk about that material
by the way,
thing again.
Wait, before I go back, before we move forward. By the way, that guy, he literally said in the next tweet, I'm a campaign alumni with 6 times over. So, I mean...
He works for a campaign. But let's talk about this. People, and that's what's so great. That's what's so great about politics, because we can always just wish. We can always wish.
Manifest.
If George Bush wouldn't, if Obama wouldn't have won, right? John McCain and the other dude, Mitt Romney, if they would have won, everybody would have said how Obama would have got us that Medicare for all, and we would have had that public option, and we would have had better schools, and we would have had Flint would have had clean water, and he'd never let these banks be bailed out. He wouldn't do none of it. Everybody can theorize because it ain't true. It don't matter if we had 5 million presidents in the past 2 years who had the same set of circumstances, the same platform, who shows you that ain't gonna happen. It don't matter. I can hope, I can dream, and it doesn't matter that we have right now a Democratic president who literally worked with Obama, was literally his vice president, was literally cool with Hillary Clinton, and literally you see what is done. The same thing they said Trump was going to do, the man did. No. We have the benefit of imagination.
Yeah.
So that it's every citizen in America's fault that America is operating like America.
We're watching this documentary. You guys should check it out. It's graphic though. By Spike Lee, called When the Levees Broke. And just by watching that and seeing how George Bush handled Katrina, and then hundreds of thousands of people died from that. And now, then fast forward to 2019, and you see how COVID was handled, how COVID is still being handled. And then, these are all recent times, right? And now we fast forward to even now, and we're looking at how the Supreme Court and things like that are being handled. And my only question is, to all of this, is, again, we say this all the time, but how can we look at the record, at the history of the United States and how they function, and assume they're going to do anything different than what they've done previously? That's not fun. That's so serious.
Especially if we're acting the same.
You know what I'm saying? It would, Katrina and how George Bush handled shit was absolutely fucking awful. Absolutely graphically awful. Terrible. 1 million people have died of COVID.
Mm-hmm. And now it's
and were we surprised? Why are we so surprised? Why are we surprised? That's my thing. I can't sit here and just pretend like I'm surprised that the United States government is acting just like the United States government.
That's what I'm so confused at everybody. This is Trump. This is Trump. It's Trump's fault that the country that was built on the slaves and the murder of the Native Americans is a bad country? To me, that offends me more than anything else. You acting like shit was sweet. That's really what gets me.
Just I don't understand that.
Be real. Be real. And I understand most of these people that have this platform and shit, they're already privileged, and for them, shit was sweet.
Yeah.
But don't try to be the voice of everybody and tell us what we should think, what we should do, and how we should act. We have the right to not give a fuck. Because what? If y'all aren't saying that we do something different, why would anybody listen to y'all? You did the same thing.
And
you did the same thing when every single president's election. Y'all do the same thing.
And I'm sorry, but like me getting my blood pressure up like every single week on Twitter is just not helpful, and it's not going to help anybody long term of getting out of this capitalist bullshit system.
Yeah.
Period. Like, you can go on there and you can be reactionary as fuck as you want. They're doing this, they're doing that, they're doing this, they're doing that. That's who they are. They're gonna fucking do it.
In other news, the America is exploiting its people and continuing to oppress. That's all we can say.
Water is wet.
That you just turn on the news, they say that, and you can go on about your business. Okay, so here's something else.
Anyway, we're going on a rant.
Yeah, but that's what we said we're gonna do. But here's something else I was thinking about that was so hilarious because it's true, and I just want people to remember this when these folks try to bring out this narrative that Joe Biden has no power.
Oh yeah.
This man has been president longer than some of our grandparents have been alive.
No, he hasn't been president. He's been
not president. He's been in office.
In politics.
He's been in politics.
Been in politics, yeah.
Longer than some of our parents, most of our parents, and a lot of our grandparents have even been alive.
Yeah.
This man has worked with everybody. This
man
man has worked with every president, has worked with all the politicians, Republican and Democrat. He was working with the politicians when they were still debating segregation.
Yeah.
He was all through the crack epidemic. He was all through the Nixon stuff, and in the 90s and the 2000s.
Yeah.
This man has been a part of probably every evil thing that America has done in the past 40, 50 years. You're telling me this man has absolutely no idea how to get something past the Supreme Court. You're telling me there is no phone number this man can call, nobody he can threaten, nobody he can blackmail, nobody he can eliminate that would make them not pass whatever the hell he wants to get past. We don't even know how many things this dude has gotten past in his career that was just totally illegal, and they have totally fucked us up forever. This man has literally, in order for him to be here that long, him and Nancy Pelosi, they have had to literally they have been a part of genocides of all types of people all over the world, have been all types of corruption stuff all over the world. So you're telling me when it comes to this is not something, this ain't got nothing to do with no corporation, this ain't got nothing to do with nobody getting no tax breaks or tax increases or nothing like that. This is just totally regular citizens.
Human rights.
All of a sudden, he is out of his hands. It's just out of his hands. There's just nothing he can do. There's no loophole. Even though people literally will go on Twitter and tell you what he can do. Oh no, he just couldn't do it because it might alienate people. It might do this. It might do that. But apparently, when it's time to get something passed for these corporations, it don't matter if every American in America is screaming and saying no, no, no. That man will get it passed and not care a thing about what you think. These people are lying to us. They're lying to you, tell your mama, tell your daddy. That man could get an elephant in everybody's house if he wanted to. He has the power to do that. He does not do that because America don't want to do that. America is not good. America is evil. America was built on the exploitation of everybody, specifically Black and Native American people. It will never be good. I feel like if we could just keep getting that in people's heads, they can stop falling for the yoke doke, because as long as they think that America has our best interests at heart, there's hope. We can't even get to the one-on-one like we talking about. We can't even get to the revolution talk until we get people to see that you sitting and waiting around twiddling your fingers. The bus is never gonna come. This great politician, Democrat politician that's gonna set everything straight will never come to you. There's no savior. There's no Messiah. It's up to us to do what needs to be done. But
well, I mean, you're asking people who have a little bit of money, who have privilege, who are white. You're asking those people to get rid of the hope that one day they're going to be just like their millionaire, billionaire friends.
No, yeah.
So, I mean, what did George Jackson say about some people you just got to get rid of?
Especially because they keep just force feeding that shit. To people.
Some people you just got to get rid of. So,
but yeah, guys, that's really all we want to talk about. We just wanted to rant because Twitter's just going ham, and maybe Twitter won't even be here by next week. But we just wanted to say all that before who knows what happens with the internet. But yes, let us know what y'all think, guys. It's just really getting ridiculous out here. And we know we're gearing up for even more and more shenanigans. So, hey, we'll be sure to talk about it. And also, again, if you have any recommendations for any readings that we can do in the future, please send them our way. Thank you, everybody who's sent them our way already. Thank you, everybody who's donated to our Patreon. Thank you, everybody who's continuing to support and listen. We appreciate you guys so much. We hope that we're helping to encourage you and, getting shit done in the community. Y'all are definitely encouraging us. Thank you. So, this has been Gabby.
And Katie.
This has been Building Our Power.